Well, hi, everybody. Welcome to the Omniverse Chronicles broadcast 7 of Crossroads Carnival. I know we're going to have a little bit of mechanics to get into as we possibly get further into the story and some things happen, but let's just get into it.
Slowly, light sprays out like blood from the darkness as the red sun rises over the dry, desolate landscape surrounding New Jerusalem. Shadows cast by the wandering dead can be seen splattering black bodily outlines across the red desert. The Axis Mundi stages and tents have been set up and broken down several times and now lie scattered about, remnants of Mel's practice sessions. It's the first time I've said that out loud. Malpractice. The residents of New Jerusalem have been open and willing to help with your preparations, but do not want to leave the safety of their town. Bobble has been darting about, collecting parts and building God knows what. What has Mal been building for you all?
I've been practicing forming the carnival into like a giant siege weapon, essentially. Voltron doesn't exist anymore, but essentially Carnival Voltron, that will hopefully make a big enough distraction against Bobby Johnson's big top, so that the more subtle members of my party might be able to go in and get the things that we need.
All right.
Just a big fucking obvious weapon.
Okay. Like it. Thalassa, you have been offered a sound system that will amplify your voice and allow you to connect to a large portion of the region. Would you like hundreds, if not thousands, of people to hear you?
I would love that.
Excellent.
Well, sure, why not?
Well, if you're gonna twist my arm about it, I guess so.
If I must.
Dr. Jemmy has been working on something that may prove useful in covert missions. Garbanzo, would you be interested in being another military guinea pig?
Yeah. Might as well. Fuck it.
All right. This is the beginnings of the Philadelphia Project or the Rainbow Project. So you may roll guile, and on a full success, you become invisible.
Amazing.
On a partial, things go a little bit sideways.
Oh God.
And on the failure, it just collapses. Or, like the Philadelphia Project, you might get shifted someplace else.
Oh God. We said with guile?
Yes.
Oh, bless you. Okay.
Please, 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 please.
What?
I didn't even need my guile with those boxcars.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, boy.
Excellent. You don this backpack with diodes and radio tubes, and it powers on, and you feel a buzz, and your entire body vibrates, and you shift out of sight.
Fuck me. Did it work? I think it worked.
Holy shit.
Look at me. Well, I mean.
I can't. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's right. Fuck me. Look at that. All right. How do I turn this fucking thing off? I'm like flipping. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm like messing with things.
Splash some water on him. where I hear his voice.
Oh
no.
Bobble walks around where she thinks you are and flips a switch.
Oh, nice.
Well, I'm guessing that if one of the diodes gets broken, you will be visible again. But otherwise, drop the backpack if you need to be seen.
Yeah, that makes sense. Important question. What's a diode?
The light bulb looking things.
A light bulb. Don't break the light bulbs. All right, got it.
And Tiresias. What I'm thinking is, as you focus on the future and the present and the past, you may trade darkness to tell me what you see.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to do this. Unless you've got a better idea.
No, I think that the kind of the item that goes with this from Bobble is almost like the gloves that have the symbols on the fingers, except it is like a conductive metal, so that I can touch things and just get a wider sense of other than just what's in my immediate vicinity, so that I can see things further away.
Absolutely. You can do that, and an electromagnetic field is set up, and you're able to sort of see how everything bounces off of it within a range of, say, 20 feet. You can tell very precisely where everything is.
Cool.
Everyone is gathered around in the New Jerusalem town square, and you see people converging on the town, and you recognize them as the residents of Blood and Agartha. They look up to you as each of the town mayors come forward. You've protected us in our worst. You protected us from the worst of parts of ourselves, and we owe you our lives. How can we help you?
Did you bring us any egg creams? That would be a good start, anyway.
One of them runs off into the soda shop that's here and grabs you one. Here you go.
Oh, excellent. Any other ideas?
You desire to not leave your town, even when we arrive at the location, is that correct?
The section of New Jerusalemites do not want to leave, but those from Agartha and Blood are willing to join you.
Okay.
And lastly, another group comes led by a man, potentially played by a young Dick Van Dyke, in a light herringbone suit with a white tie and black shirt and red pocket fold. Behind him is the wandering and waterlogged risen dead from Cockaigne. He looks to you, saying, "Things seem to be a little out of balance. Maybe these folks can help you." And he walks to Thalassa, and you have a different view of me. And I like that. I would like to give you a gift.
I will gladly accept.
He runs a finger that is far too cold for what it should be, and ice sort of trickles along the top of the water as he reaches down and runs this finger along your fin, and it becomes more iridescent. And as you sort of shift around in your tank, you see the skeletal form underneath it show through. Not only will you be able to command the living, you will also be able to command the undead.
Oh.
And Death nods to you and goes back into the crowd.
Well.
Of what? Fuck? For real?
I have been thinking of ways to create a greater distance in reaching people. I never I never thought about it potentially being undead. This is, well, this is twice as good as I could have planned for, to be honest.
I'm right.
See, this is another good reason why you shouldn't bury the dead.
Oh, you know, all right. Yeah, now you have a point.
Yes.
So that fulfills the army of an army formed of those redeemed. So you've got about 400 people willing to do what you need.
Wow.
And Jerry looks to you, as does Lust and Bobble and TK and Peanut and Rose and Matt and Francis and the Amalamadon. All look to you for direction. What would you like to do?
Is there anything else we need to figure out before we get to High Brazil?
I mean, not that I know of. We just got to decide the order of things.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a hell of a crowd and a hell of a distraction.
Yes, it's quite the distraction. And we have an army, really. There seems to be that it will be quite the fight. And if our intention is to form some sort of truce, at what point do we draw the line at not defeating them?
That's still the part that I can't seem to work out.
From all accounts, it does not seem like they would have any interest in a truce, but how else are we to stop this?
Right. Like, does most of the plan, most of what we've talked about still stand? Do we go in and let me break apart this other version of Tiresias? You know, we crush them just enough to say, you're fucking finished. But if you want to keep trolling around like you have been, quit fighting now and we'll walk away. Is that enough? Is that too much?
I think the only way that we can have a true ceasefire is to get the entity of envy that has pitted these siblings against each other to almost go someplace neutral. To keep that balance of 3 on 3 with an odd number, we will never attain the balance we need.
Perhaps gaining control of the Angelus from Curio would be the way to go if they don't have that in their back pocket. They may be more willing to have a truce. Seeing as how, I mean, Mallory has said she wants to return both items here. Is that the balance that we're trying to achieve? But yes, I do agree, Tiresias. I think that a neutral ground would be in our favor.
I mean, I've grown a little attached to the ghost light, if you haven't noticed. But
I've noticed, yes.
But that and the Angelus, they're both so powerful. If they're... I don't know. I mean, there's a part of me that doesn't want to give it up, but could things ever be balanced if we don't put them away somewhere safe?
I think wearing these gloves with this magnetic enhancement inside of them, I lay out a circle of sand and cast the bones.
Please roll high.
Hmm. 10.
Nice.
So I get 2 and you get 1. I think the first question is, how would we attain balance? And I don't think I'm asking this question in the sense of like, how do we accomplish this victory, but what does balance look like to this kind of strange pantheon that has been released on the world?
Would you like to tell me, or would you like me to tell you?
Ooh. Where am I at, darkness wise?
How quick could this get bad?
What you got, bud?
All right, I will tell you.
All right.
So I'm going to mark that darkness. And the vision, I think, is not so much defeating envy, but along the lines of Mallory having this energy and the other carnival having this energy, it is actually about combining the two. That something in bringing these two together, because in Envy's plan, they could never be brought together because they will just continue to fight for dominance. And then Envy will take the one that is more powerful and discard the other one. That it's bringing them together, combining them into whatever their original form was before they were divided, that creates the balance.
You feel a snap as reality bends to what you have seen. You see the twins separated, and you see them doing their business, and you see that their work combined may do just that, bring the balance through combination rather than annihilation.
I think my second question is, would Curio ever agree to anything but victory? And I think I want you to answer that one, because I don't want to change Curio's free will.
Yes.
Okay. And then what do you want me to know?
The thing that will be unleashed will attempt to destroy everyone. This creature that was summoned forth from the unknown outside of your world. It wants destruction. And it is not something that Curio is planning on.
Mm. So I think I start to recollect this ancient sand. I was doubtful whether Curio would be willing to call a truce or if victory was the only path they sought, but I can see not what will bring them to that, but that it is possible, that victory is not the only outcome they will accept. But there is something dark hiding in the shadows, something brought about by their actions that Curio did not plan, but that will be released, and it wants nothing but destruction. Curio perhaps not knowing what he wrought, perhaps being lied to, perhaps even unwittingly bringing it here through actions I cannot see. But there is a path, not in us winning, but by combining what you have, Mallory, with what the other circus has. If we can combine the two flames, it will create a balance that will restore, if not, no, it will not be a return to the way things are. Those ways are gone. I can see it everywhere I look. But it will create some form of whatever the new normal is.
Okay. That's good. That's a start. Maybe telling Curio about this thing that's coming, this thing that doesn't care about his existence, could get him to agree to a truce, but he's not going to do that if he thinks he's winning.
Yes. I think his back must be to the wall. His defeat certain before he could understand that an olive branch can be given out of love and not simply mercy or shame or embarrassment.
Mercy's kind of fun, though, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Perhaps if we keep Bauble with us, I think maybe that could be a helpful reminder. I know they don't exactly see eye to eye, but perhaps I hear
Yes.
some siblings care for each other, and that can overpower any, well, disagreements, I suppose, that they may have. It's worth a shot, at least I think.
I agree. This whole thing, unbeknownst to them, spirals outward from them from their birth.
What do you think, Bobble?
He looks real timid, her tail kind of held pensively. I'll go with you guys. Tell me what to do. I haven't seen him in 20 years. I'll do what I can.
I believe that.
That's all we can do, I think. I just hope it's enough.
Me too.
I believe even your presence could be helpful. You don't necessarily have to do anything. I just don't think that it could harm anything.
All right. Get me in safe. See what we can do.
Speaking of which, What do we like for that, ladies and gentlemen? If we're going to offer some kind of an olive branch, is all of this show of force we've got ready, is that for whatever this outsider thing is going to be? Is this not what we're going to use to get in and out of this place? Are we going to put this all on a gamble of peace and love and all of that?
Oh, no, I'm pretty sure we're gonna have to, have what appears to be a decisive victory until we, extend the olive branch.
Right, so we are going a little bit with the mercy.
Yeah.
All right, I'm in.
All right. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Okay. Jerry, could you take us to High Brazil?
Yep. And the desert is no longer there. To one side, you see the town of High Brazil. To the other, you see the road to the carnival.
And us in the middle. Excellent.
All right. Who's first?
I feel like that's probably me, don't you think?
Probably.
All right, everyone. I hope you all secured your valuables. Hopefully,
They give it the nod.
All right. Hopefully, this place comes back in one piece. And I close my eyes and stretch out my hands and undo the catches on my left arm to release the ghost light. And we see all of the tents and the cars, every piece of the carnival kind of fold in on itself like a paper box almost, and then start unfurling and stacking on top of each other and building into this almost facsimile of a person, arms and great, with like fingers made out of like the pieces of tents, and yeah, and it's as tall as I can make it and as strong as I can make it.
Oh, please tell me it has like brass knuckles made out of all of my weights.
Yes, it does. It sure as hell does. And all that happens, and I open my eyes and I look at it. And I don't look surprised or shocked in any way. I just nod. It feels right. And it feels exactly like what I wanted.
I'll be goddamned.
And I send it out of New Jerusalem towards Bobby Johnson's big top.
Okay. You feel the earth shake as it takes its steps. This 60-foot tall humanoid beast of construction. The pieces of stage creating fingers, the weights in the knuckles, the tent material creating flesh around it. And it takes the 20 or so steps down the road to the entrance of the big top. Your arm flares brightly as it enforces your will upon the equipment, and you see off in the distance, you see the tilt-a-whirl, the Ferris wheel, the merry-go-round, the roller coaster roll and unfurl behind the big top as it tinker toys its way on top of each other. It forms a very striking visage of a rather large mouse-like humanoid. Pale, large ears, and you see Bobble just shake her head and look down. It takes the big top itself and puts it on as a hat. And it squares off against you. The crowd, a small crowd, runs away from the rides and equipment that were off to that side. A group of children fleeing, being guided by several clowns that are taking off their makeup, yelling, "This isn't what we signed up for." And the voice echoes out from the mouth of the giant curio. "That's fine. I have what I need from you."
All right. I'm pretty sure I've got Kirio's attention, so if we're gonna do something, you guys should do it.
It hadn't occurred to me that this might happen. Is the other one of these seers wrapped up inside of that fucking thing? Like, as I look, are there still some tents and stuff at least, or did like everything do this? Okay.
No, it is just the rides.
Rides. Got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the question's still like, I'm almost panicked though. Like,
You don't think so? This seems.
I would say I imagine that if there's something as important as a seer, they're not going to put it into battle. I think you're still good with your plan of sneaking in. I know that you have the option to be a bit more hidden now, and you'll probably have to sneak off and do that. So I think Bobble could probably take over my transport.
All right, love. And I'll lean in and give her a big kiss. Wish me luck. I break this fucking thing, and then what? And then I'm out? Or am I looking for the other piece?
I'm pretty sure Curio's gonna have the Angelus, but and I'm not even looking at him. I'm just staring at my creation and the big top, and I'm pulling a piece of paper out of my pocket and just sort of handing it without even looking at it in Garbanzo's direction. But that last piece of my cure should be somewhere in the big top. If you can find that.
Oh, yeah, the root?
Uh-huh.
On it.
Thank you.
Good luck, everybody else.
We'll see you later.
If they start getting, a little rough over here. Pour him a cup of fucking tea, right? And I'll flip the switch and start running that way.
Okay. You run down the road as this kaiju battle begins to happen above you. You pass several signs and posters for different acts within the Big Top. You see Garthak the Strong, Torsion and Fionn the conjoined twins, Vima, the woman who can move objects with thought, Tony and Nunzio, the flying Scaleri brothers, Noel, the uncategorical, phantasmagorical, spectacular, fuel-burning oracle.
Which one should I?
And you pass these faded posters and run by the foot of what used to be the Lass's wagon. And you find yourself, yes?
I don't know why I was ready for you to say the foot of what used to be the why am I blanking now? The
Man of Theseus?
Man of Theseus. Just one single kick line. Yeah, I'm going. I'm running.
Okay. I assume you're not going to go in through the main entrance, or are you?
I don't think so. I think I'm trying to stay around the outskirts as much as I want to literally be under a kaiju fight. Yeah, I think I'm kind of going towards the outskirts so that I can get closest to the side of the oracle.
Okay. So as you're wandering through, you see several tents. And the outside talkers and the professors seem to be kind of watching up. Some of them knew this was going to happen. Some of them were like, what the hell? What meeting did I miss? And you pass by the tent of Garthak. You pass by the tent of the Man of Theseus. Let me know if there's anything here that you want to go in.
I hate that I'm going to say I don't. I think I'm trying to beeline right now.
You pass through pass by the large tent of the Flying Scaleri brothers. You notice someone smelling the air, a small humanoid that looks like the product of a man and a bat. And it sort of does this. And looks in your direction.
Well, I'm going to have to skid to a halt, do a 90-degree turn here, and beeline towards that.
And you see it's got a straw hat on and the badge of a Pinkerton with the name of LaFours. And it sort of makes this chittery noise as several more of these man-bat creatures start to try circling around you.
Do they look... Are they just mostly like the features, or do they look like they have wings of any kind?
It does not appear as if they have wings.
Lovely. Then the one that noticed me, I want to charge and essentially just try to keep my momentum going, get a hand under its chin, and see how fucking far I can throw it.
Yes.
All right. Roll them bones.
Okay. Yeah, 7.
Oh.
You connect solidly, and it sails up and back about 20 feet. And the others around see the point of egress where
Yeah.
it took off and attempt to attack where it was. And you feel tiny talons dig into you. And go ahead and mark a harm as they scrape at you as you continue forward. Back in New Jerusalem, what would you, Tiresias and Thalassa and Bobble, like to do?
Well, since we seem to have an army of the undead at our disposal, I suppose it would be best to utilize that to minimize the damage to our carnival. So I'm gonna go to the studio to be able to use the what's the word? I can't remember the word. Words don't exist.
Yeah,
Radio
the
tower?
broadcast.
Broadcast?
Yes, broadcast. There we go.
There we
Thank you. To be able to use my siren song to control the undead in this area.
All right. Let's get that breath
Race.
race.
Come on, come on, come on.
4, 5, 6, 7.
Oh.
Okay. The army of undead, the undead that had been wandering through the area, restless and hungry, all look toward the tower, awaiting your orders. What is the unintended side effect of this?
Oh, I can't imagine makes sense for me to be in danger here or for an NPC to be driven mad with the need for me. So I think it only makes sense with Mala and Garbanzo being already kind of engaged in this battle for it to be endanger someone you care for. And I think the command that I'm giving out is I want them to climb Bobby Johnson's big top and start disassembling it. Just start pulling it apart as it's trying to fight our carnival.
You see this, like, all of a sudden, all the attention snaps to the two fighting giant beings, and they start wandering that way.
I have to get help to Mallory before something bad happens to my car.
Priorities.
I'm sure it's fine.
Are Tiresias.
I think that as we know that Garbanzo is on the move and Mallory is causing this distraction. I am going to try and embrace the darkness. Yeah. Okay. So that is with breath. So that is a 10. But I do mark another darkness.
I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. I would like to, for the first one, show someone true disgust. Extend your abilities to do something inhuman. And I think what I'm doing is I am reaching out to Noelle through this magnetic field. And I imagine that this kind of robot seer sees everything in black and white and sees the facts. And I'm going to open up for a moment for it to see all of the shades of gray, to see what it is like for, a dead creature to be rotting, for it to see a bird, being shot, to like the actual grotesqueness of life, to try and overwhelm it for a little bit to further hide Garbanzo's approach. Like, I'm going to make her sight more realistic.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. You you feel a spreading headache as your headache spreads to it. And it feels existential dread.
Welcome to living.
All right. Mal, where are you perched to watch all of this?
Where in New Jerusalem could I probably get like a good vantage point of this?
Well, probably the best would be the highest point in this town,
That's where
which
I would
is the radio tower.
Yeah.
All right. Let's roll some bones to see how well you punch that.
Sure. I am pretty sure that more than any other moment in my life, I am doing this to keep my loved ones safe.
Oh, absolutely.
So, I'm going to get a +1 to this roll. 13.
All right. It reaches back and punches solidly through. You punch daylight through this other giant creature. And you see undead flow out from the wound, carrying off the pieces.
Yes.
And it begins to sort of it shakily steps backwards and steps into the river that forms the back boundary of the circus. Garbanzo, you see undead wandering off with pieces of machinery around you. You pass by the Hall of Clown Eggs.
I
I
beg. As I'm going through any of this, are any of the bat things still following me?
You see them like wandering around, making that.
Okay. So they got in their good hit, and I kept going. So yeah, I think I am still. I think I just am trying to run like hell.
All right.
God, I want to see what's in these tents, but
I
got it. I gotta do it. I gotta get to this oracle. Oh.
All right. And you are able to come to, and in the back, you find the tent of the seer.
I crack my knuckles and walk into the tent.
All right. The smell of diesel overpowers you as you walk in, and you see this absolutely inhuman figure, a torso of a human ish on top of a table, solid. A mechanical woman created from copper and brass, fused with everything they could possibly gather from Tiresias over the ages, from discarded toenail clippings to blood to hair to old clothing. Using these parts as an alchemical components, Curio has created a device that is able to foretell the future. And it is twitching and twitching and twitching, body parts shifting. You can see the table kind of crunch, crunch, crunch. As dark black plumes of exhaust seep out from the seams under the table.
I thought I was going to feel bad about this. I'm going to rush it, grab this torso, and just Captain America, piece of wood, rip this thing in half.
I love the implication that Tiresias' power was in his toenails the entire time.
All along.
It was the toenails all along.
You not remember how valuable human toenails are?
Thank you. Real monsters know.
All right, roll bones.
$11.
Nice.
Yes.
It is hot. It hurts as the pieces are still moving and you twist it apart and you feel a hand reach towards yours and a piece of paper in it. And then it releases and dissolves and shatters in your grips.
Sorry about that. I'm going to look. I felt that. Is there still a piece of paper in its hand, or did that get shredded?
In what used to be its hand, yes.
I think I want to pick it up and see if it says anything.
It says, "I'm sorry and I forgive you."
Oh, fuck you. Come on. I'm not so... Fuck. I almost crumple it up and then fold it, put it in my pocket, and head out of the tent.
All right. Above you, the battle rages on. Mal, give me another
Hell yeah.
Golden Bones.
Seven.
You get another solid hit as the arm goes flying off. But you notice that there are sparks flying as this seems to have been mechanically driven, not something of a mystical nature.
Oh.
And the lightning shoots to the nearest tall metal object.
Uh-huh.
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 And it makes contact with the radio tower. And you go flying backwards, falling about 300 feet. The ground softens under you as much as it can, trying to give you the softest landing it can. But you will still take 3 damage from that, because that's... Yeah.
Yeah. 3
That's some...
seems kind. Thank Sure.
All right. The Carney kaiju slumps as you've been knocked, as the wind has been knocked out of you. And the remaining torso and arm twists around and throws a punch back at you. And you feel it hit. Tiresias. You feel that brief connection you had with Noelle break. And you feel the rush of its emotions that were being held back by its own programming of pain and guilt of everything that it had helped Curio do. What would you like to do?
I want to do something that is... I'm not even sure they'll notice it in the moment. But I'm going to use my last hold for Embrace the Darkness. And I want to reach out to Curio. And I want to show them true grief. I want to take something from them. And like I said, I don't even know that it will register yet. But I think the thing that I want to take from Curio is their hatred of their sister, of whatever that moment was that made this tension between them.
All right. All right. Cool. So yep, you feel very briefly the pain of a sibling lost, and the jealousy of watching someone else succeed over and over and over again by just doing the thing as opposed to having worked your entire life for something and having it always just out of reach. And then it fades. Thalassa. You feel the microphone in your hand heat up as lightning arcs down through the radio tower into your hand, and you are thrown backwards. Can I get a guile roll?
Sure.
as you try to figure out whether or not you can like nudge the tank so that you don't land on someone or something important.
I thought you were gonna say so I don't get electrocuted, but yeah, that's bad too. Oh no.
Oh, baby.
1.
Okay. Which would you rather not break? The transmitter or bobble?
Those were my crit show dice, by the way, just so everyone knows.
Oh no, dice.
Yeah.
Not the gold ones by chance.
Nope. Those are at your house. I'd rather not hurt Bobble.
All right. So you lean as you like drop the microphone, but you still twinged backwards and you fell back onto the control panel, splashing water all over it, and you feel it sizzle and pop behind you. Bobble tries to pick you up and goes, I don't think I can fix this in time.
Well, then I suppose I'm of no longer of any use here. We might as well get to where the action is.
Okay, running. And she pushes you out through the lobby of the radio station and out across the lawn. Garbanzo.
So the closest thing I think is clown eggs.
Yes.
Yeah, that's horrifying.
Mhm.
I don't know how to ask. Is there anything that I have seen or passed, like if or ran by, that might make me think herbs, roots? They might have, alchemy type things there that I could potentially look through for my girl Mal.
Give me some guile.
I will give you every guile. 7 again. Oh my god, I'm cutting it close on these. That was a 5. 7.
Okay. You realize that you have not yet seen Curio's tent, but you're fairly certain that is backstage, which means that you will likely have to go through one of these tents that you have passed.
Mm-hmm.
Where would you like to go?
Pick your poison, bud.
God. Well,
Listen, Tass, before you make this decision, I just want you to take a moment to contemplate the sheer number of things that could hatch out of eggs.
I will go over the tents that you have passed.
Yeah, please.
Garthak, the strongest.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's a
The man
chump.
of Theseus.
Yeah.
Okay.
The tent of Frederick Cooper.
He seems fine.
That's how he gets
Freddy.
you.
Always trust a guy named Freddy. It's cool.
Yep. The Flying Scaleri brothers.
Yep. Yeah, those guys.
And the Hall of the Clown Eggs.
Hall of. Hall of.
Hall of.
But HAUL.
Oh, God. We got a big old hall of clown eggs back here if y'all want to see. Christ. Funny you say that. You know what? I'm a sucker for the Scaleri brothers.
All right. You enter in and you see two late teens, early 20s men, one big with round teeth, the other tall, gaunt with sharp teeth, their eyes yellowed with jaundice. The tall, skinny brother is jumping and doing backflips into the air. And the other is leaning up against a cannon.
Oh no.
Yes.
I mean, as much as I can, I want to try to sneak past and hope they don't like hear this rig on my back. I don't know now that I'm in a tent that that's gonna give me much, but
You have opened the tent.
Oh,
I
no!
did have to open the tent. I did that. That's
Flutter it
okay.
like a little gust of wind.
Yeah. They're like, I heard you say whoosh. That doesn't.
And
Ah.
the larger brother, which you can assume is Nunzio,
Okay.
climbs in to the cannon. I know you're here somewhere. Tony, fire at will. And Tony, the grin raises up higher, inhumanly wide, and you hear a cackle emit from not just his mouth, but his entire face, and he wanders over to the cannon and starts just twisting it back and forth. Say when, brother. Give me grace.
Oh no. Oh no.
Come on. Let's see those
You got
box
this.
cars.
6.
No!
Rolled a 7.
And he just flip, and you are trying your hardest to be quiet. And this large man explodes out from the cannon and nails you, shattering the backpack. You are blasted off about 8 feet to the side, and you go skittering across the dirt of this tent. I think we nailed him. I do believe we did. And he stands up, cracks his back, and starts running back to the cannon. What would you like to do?
Oof. So I think what I need to do is pick up just the remains of the backpack, just the metal that held it all together.
Mm-hmm.
And like as I'm spinning on my knee to get up, I'm just doing the full momentum spin to hook that backpack like as just fastball special hard as I can at the cannon.
Okay. Roll bones.
Okay. Bless you bones. 10 even.
Nice.
All right. You crack into it, and you can see a split start opening in the cannon. You've got background in military. You know that if this gets used, it will likely explode, not launching anything anywhere so much as launching it out.
So I don't know what they've seen, but what I'm starting to say is, fuck, I missed. Like, as if I was throwing it at one of them.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. He climbs into the cannon. And
Bet you can't hit me twice.
Tony climbs on top for their patented double flyer maneuver. And he pulls the cord. And you see it burst open this way. And it flings Tony out through the tent. And splatters Nunzio.
Bullseye, mate. And I'm hauling ass through this tent.
Okay. So, as as Thalas and Bobble go running out toward the street to be able to see what's going on, you see a small, thin man go flying across into town. It blew up real good. And you see the robot starting to try to pound into Axis Mundi. It being taken apart bit by bit by the last orders that you have given your army. There are still more coming to your aid and looking at you.
So am I able to command multiples of these even without the broadcast tower?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, it's just more of a localized thing now, though, but it's still kind of area. All right, then, yeah, I would like to try and do my siren song again. I think we kind of see Thalas's tail kind of do that flicker in between it being like a skeletal, kind of like those X-ray fish, where it's like, it's not just the bones, it's like still the body, but you can see through it, and it's the skeleton. And I think it starts flickering back and forth between that as she starts singing. And so I would like to try and get this other mass of undead to start going into the remaining tents and start basically just disassembling the groundwork of what has been left from the carnival.
All right. That's that's Grace, yeah? Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Come on, baby.
That's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 plus 1, 12.
All right. Yeah, you see the undead a group of them start wandering into the entrance of the circus and taking apart the ticket booth and moving on from tent to tent.
Can they smash all the clown eggs, please? They just make some omelets in that hall. That'd be cool.
Not clown omelets.
All right. Yeah, they will do their thing. Tiresias, what are you doing?
I think that, still in this broadcast station, I know that it's not working the way that it was intended to, but I want to put my gloves up against the metal wall, and I want to try to keep an eye out for trouble. Like, I want to use the antenna now to let me see the battlefield to see, like, what we might be missing.
Okay.
Uh, 9. I think in the sense of what we're trying to do, what tragedy is about to happen?
Nice.
If no one is able to get Mal to a point where she is able to see what is going on, the circus will lose this fight, or the carnival will lose the fight. All right. Mal, you sit up.
Yeah, I'm struggling to my feet, if I can still manage to walk. I'm pretty sure with 3 harm, my right arm is broken. And just kind of limply hanging at my side. And I feel panicked for the first time in this entire fight, and I'm just trying to like run, limp, stagger like out of New Jerusalem so that maybe I could try to get a vantage point of what I'm trying to see, like just trying to get like out of the city limits because I don't have a better idea.
All right. The roads pass by you quickly as you find your way to the edge of town. Tiresias, you feel the pain that Mal is in. You can sort of see how haggard her movements are as she tries to run, and Jerry is trying to make the trip shorter.
I would like to strike a deal.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me roll it first.
Oh, buddy.
Before I even say what it is. Okay, that is boxcars.
Nice.
That's good.
Yeah. So, the same thing that wanted to make a deal with me before to get one of my visions.
Mm-hmm.
I will give it the touch. I will literally give it my move. Like, I will give up that move in this moment to give Mallory my ability to see other places where my eyes are not.
You feel a numbness wash over you. Meanwhile, Garbanzo, you find a very ornate wagon that almost looks more like a tank than a wagon.
Anybody obvious like outside of it?
No.
Right? I'm running up to whatever looks like a door here.
It looks like the door to a submarine.
Pod. Does it seem unlocked?
It does not.
Well, I feel like the biceps are keys, so I'm gonna unlock this thing. If I so can.
You can certainly try.
Outstanding. Bones, I assume?
It is bones. Unless you want to try to pick it, in which case, you could guile.
You know, I almost have a better chance with that.
And you do have a background that is applicable to this.
Yeah.
That's true. Thinking about it like that, too, now that I'm here, I know there's a lot of chaos, but I don't want to bring more attention to what I'm doing, so I might see if I can do that.
All right.
Oh, maybe if I can drop this. If I don't drop it. Duh. Yeah, still 9.
Yeah. You're able to unlock it. It just takes a minute. Because
Okay. Yeah.
it's been a while. But you have definitely done these sorts of things before. It's not quite the doors that you're used to.
Sure.
It is definitely modified, but salvaged.
Okay.
Okay. Mel, you trip and fall as you are no longer seeing out of your own eyes. And the rest of the everyone else sees the Axis Mundi figure slip forward and onto the Carnival robot. You were able to see directly from any point on your entity, your avatar.
Yeah, I
Right.
think on what would be the face of Axis Mundi, 2 spotlights shine on. And from Mal in New Jerusalem, my eyes open and shine with that same spotlight. And I want to pull the big top into the river. I don't think I could actually drown this thing, but I want to just hold it and pin it in the river.
All right. Let's get some bones rolling.
Seven.
All right. You are not quite sure that you'll be able to get it down there without out falling with it.
That's fine.
Okay. And you feel the entities intertwine and fall into the river. The wake picks up and sweeps out over the circus grounds. You see, Garbanza, you see several undead go floating by as a sudden tiny tsunami takes out half of the carnival, half of the circus.
These were the
And
waterlogged ones from Sloth, right? These poor things are probably going, oh no, not again.
Not again.
they're yep, a lot of water here. And you see several of those eggs float by. They are cracked where the undead have broken them. You see several of the man bats float by unconscious as well. And as you're watching this,
I'm just giving them the finger as they go.
And they look at you questioning, what?
Who are you?
Who are you? And you feel the click as the door unlocks.
I'm going to peek it.
You're going to peek it?
Yep.
All right. Give me a guile roll to dodge out of the way as the door is kicked open.
Oh, shit. All right. With my +2, 6.
You go skittering back in the mud at the feet of several of the undead who have the same sort of fish-like eyes that Thalassa has. As they look at you and go back to dismantling, and you see fights breaking out between the undead and Garthak, and sort of a fight amongst itself. You know when somebody pantomimes punching themselves, and you see that happening.
Oh.
And you suspect that it is and was the man of Theseus that is half under the control of Thalassa and half under its own control.
Yes.
Stop hitting yourself.
And angry and disgusted with himself, you see a figure that looks quite a bit like Bobble. If Bobble had gone to a fancy dress party and had used honey and black shavings to make a beard and goggles and the top hat, a red coat.
I fish that piece of paper out and look at what the name of the route is again.
Mm-hmm.
The old MacGuffin route.
MacGuffin route.
Yeah. And just on my back, I kind of point at it. I say, do you have any of this?
He looks at you. Which one of them are you? I assume you're the strongman.
Yeah, which one of the does the tank top, isn't it?
I don't know. It looks like you may have just come swimming.
That's fair. Yeah, so I don't want to hurt you, but I do need this route. I can see you've got other things to deal with. So if you'd like, we can just pass like strangers in the night. I won't fuck with anything else you've got in there. Call it square. What do you think?
You hear the sound of hydraulics as his joints and skin split apart, and he grows another 4 feet.
Did he just wild west us?
He did.
Not quite.
All right, mate. You're not gonna like it though. Stand up.
All right.
I'm gonna charge him.
Yep.
And I mean, I'm literally bellowing, "We don't gotta fucking do this!" as I'm going in for a punch. I don't know. Does that because I don't want to fight him. Would this be strength of 10 men to like try to get him to stop?
Yes, it is
Okay.
absolutely, because you're going to be using that threat
Okay.
with it.
Well, I'm
Because
gonna
you want him
try.
to stand down.
Yeah. Okay.
Give in and do what you want.
Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
Ooh, yeah, baby. 11.
Nice.
Good job.
He can still take it, but I tried. You all heard. I tried.
You did.
You did.
You see his teeth grind, and it's not just like a normal grind. They don't go back and forth in his jaw. You see them twist around like this as they spark. And you see the panels of skin retract. And he returns to normal size. You see steam billowing off of him. Fine. It's in the wagon.
Appreciate that. I'm like skidding to a halt as I do. Like, huh, all right.
Mm-hmm.
Tip my hat and walk up in there.
All right. You see a myriad of tools, things that you have saw during your time in the armed forces, some things that you have never seen before. You see bits and pieces of living and dead components. You see jars and vials of various. Yeah. And you do find one bottle marked MacGuffin root.
I'll take it off the shelf. And like I'm struggling not to I want to play in here. Like I want to look around, but
That's good.
I made him a promise.
The door slams and seals it shut.
Oh no!
Neat.
You have so much time to look around now.
Well, guess I'm gonna smash your shit, asshole.
The walls of the wagon begin to close.
Oh man. All right. I think the only move I have here then is just to turn on a heel and charge that door. This time I don't think I have time to pick a lock. Oof. And I probably can't talk it into opening. So straight bones.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Come on. Come on, come on.
9.
Got this.
9?
Not what I was hoping, but 9.
All right. You can make it out, but part of you will be crushed, or the bottle.
Oh. Gonna be me.
Pick your lamb.
Oh boy. I'm gonna go a little meta here and say left leg.
All right. You go charging through. You bump up against the metal, the giant, thick, like we're talking 1.5 foot thick metal door, and you feel it kind of begin to buckle. You do it again as the doors, the walls are closing in fairly quickly. You're not in a very wide open space as you are. And on the third break, you feel the door buckle and fall forward, and you trip and lose your footing on the steps down, and you feel the bones crunch. And you are torn between it feeling just right and the immense pain that you were in. So,
Oh my god.
Thalassa,
Yes.
your crew has taken down most of the tents and put them away. You sense the water shifting in the lake, or in the river. You sort of have water sense of when water is near you, and you feel it coming a little bit closer, but you also feel something large and old coming down the waterways. It is something that you were told as a child to stay away from. The reasons why you don't go in to the deep chasms in the oceans. And you feel the ground shifting and opening up, and water filling and seeping through, and you see it as this giant crevice opens almost at your feet, as a kraken rips itself up from the ground. Tiresias, how you doing?
I think that, I'm envisioning this camera jumping back and forth between these scenes, and the last time we see Tiresias hands on the wall and seeing that Mal has to be able to see again, and reaching out and striking this deal and just being knocked backwards by this force leaving him momentarily. Well, part of it permanently, and part of it, this gift that he is giving Mallory for the time, and just laying on the ground. And then when the camera cuts back, it's just black and the sound of very light footsteps and Tiresias's voice. I'm sorry that I wasn't able to act quickly enough before you were born. I hope this makes amends. And we hear like the thoughtful voice of the little child who had appeared and come back to life and get yelled at and sent away. And the camera kind of fades in, and it's just that little dead child sitting next to him on the ground, as Tiresias is, for the first time in his life, unable to see anything in any way. And I don't really think I have anything to do in this moment. Not that I don't have anything to do, but I think that I have given up what I can do for the moment to make sure that what needs to happen happens. And that was something that in the past life he did not do.
You feel relief. Like you have done enough for now. Something that you have not felt. You feel a small head lean up against your shoulder. Meanwhile, in the water, you're wrestling with half of a robot, and it suddenly gives way in your arms and falls apart bit by bit. And you feel the ground shake, and you feel everything shift, and you feel all of the water start rushing away from you. The current suddenly much faster. And a tentacle flips up, reaching on one side of the earth. What would you like to do?
Oh boy, this is now we're really into some kaiju shit now. Yeah, I discard the big top. And who do I see anything more of this besides just a tentacle?
Not at the moment.
Okay. What is the tentacle doing? Words I never thought I would say out loud.
It looks like it's trying to gain solid purchase on the ground.
I can't have that. No, I would sure like to try to grab hold of that sucker and try to like dislocate it.
Sure. All right. Roll bones.
Sure will. Eight.
You pick it up and you try to wrench it, and it doesn't quite feel like there's any like bone structure under here, and you feel like the pockets of something kind of snap in your not hands, and something comes out of it that is very hot.
Cool.
No, hot. Very, very hot. Garbanzo, you are lying on the broken door of Curio's cabinet.
I mean, I don't know that I have much to do besides try to crawl my way down out of this and see if I can get up on one foot. Like, is Curio still there?
Curio is staring slack-jawed at the giant hole that used to be where his carnival, where his circus was.
Yeah, fair. So I think after just this blinding pain is hitting, and I'm trying to get up and seeing what he's seeing as well. I think all I know to do right now is to turn and see if I can get my way, or I don't know, back and around towards New Jerusalem, I guess. Try to I want to try to get this route there because I am not functionally super helpful right now.
Okay. Far off in the distance, Thalassa, you see the tentacles, one come up and get twisted off by Axis Mundi, and you see what, like the remnants of what comes out of one of the vents, just steaming hot water. And you see Garbanzo struggling to get out and away. You see Curio looking up at this and just taking this pause of, what? And you see the undead just kind of stop. What would you like to do?
I think I am overtaken with this fear of this creature that warnings have been impressed upon me for so long. For so long. So many hundreds of years now at this point. But I see Garbanzo not able to stand or walk very easily. And I turn to Bobble and I say, Bobble, would you mind taking me out of my tank, please? And I'll have her set me on the ground in the water that is pooling up around us. Please.
She does so.
Wheel this over to Garbanzo. He needs help. He can't move easily. And I will send her to go assist him.
All right.
And I would like to, again, try and use my siren song to reach out to the undead that are left in this area. And send them towards the Kraken.
Okay. Roll breath.
Baby.
Grace. Roll grace.
Grace. Seven, 8, 9, 10. Oh, shit.
All right. The
what I want to tell them to do specifically, as this kraken rises up and these tentacles are trying to get at the carnival, and Mal is doing her best to handle these tentacles and keep this thing engaged. I want as many undead as possible to climb towards the beak of this thing and force their way inside. And I want them to try and just rip at it from the inside out and cause it as much internal pain as possible. Because I think one of the things that like we were always told about when I was not just a guppy, was how there were these, warrior mer people that would try and like prove their mettle to go and go into these dark parts of the ocean and face this, and they took the sharpest, most skilled weapons they had, and nothing ever was able to attack this thing. So I'm going from a different direction.
All right. You see the hordes of undead go diving into the water. And fortunately, they don't need to breathe. So hundreds, they just keep coming. And everyone that passes by you sort of picks up on the message as all of the dead that has been within approximately 4 states go diving into the trying to take out this kraken. All right. Mal.
Uh-huh.
You see the swarm of ants as people start diving into the water and into it. What would you like to do?
I would sure like to try to tear some more holes in this thing so that the dead have some more options.
All right. Are you going to go in after, or are you going to try to pull it up towards you?
I'm going to pull it up towards me.
All right. Rolling bones.
Okay. $11.
Yeah. You start dragging it up. You feel the hot water spilling down the side of, and you pull it up and you claw?
Sure. Yeah.
Start clawing these holes into it, and the undead go seeping into the holes like throngs of mice. And you see it sort of twitch and in very uncomfortable ways. Garbanzo. You're trying to make it back?
Yeah, I think so. Whatever way I can hop, crawl, drag. I want to keep this route safe.
All right. Bobble comes running up with the Lass's tank.
Oh, shit. Wait, where's she?
She went for a swim and is staying off near the edge.
All right. Oh, damn it. Damn it. All right. I think I lift myself in and I hand off the root. Get me as close to her as you can.
Okay. And she also gets that slack-jawed face as well, as she is next to this monstrous entity and the Kraken. And Curio turns toward Bobble, and there's this sort of fear that she gets. And you kind of see her start to try to back up a bit. And Curio shakes his head and walks off into the water.
What was that?
Are you looking more carefully now? There seems to be a set of stairs that has opened up in the water that, up until the water came rushing off, had been hidden. And he walks down these stairs. No hatred left in him. So, Bobble looks to you and says, Do we still go back? What?
I don't know. Oh, man.
It will be quite a tricky descent. And I think that Tiresias is standing at the remnants of this tent being led by this child. There is a reckoning that must happen between siblings, and I think the table may be close to set for that dinner.
You want me to go into the scary stairs with that?
You don't have to go alone.
Who's coming with me?
Will.
Sorry?
We will.
Okay. Who's the kid?
They were never given a name. Believe me when I tell you, Bobble, that there is something going on here, much larger than any of us. But for some reason it is tethered to you and your brother. So we must head down if we wish this to ever come to an end. For if we do nothing, we will leave behind thousands of faceless and nameless.
You feel a squeeze at your hand, Tiresias. Oh, okay. And she starts pushing Garbanzo down the stairs.
Thus dealing with his other leg.
Toward the stairs. Mal.
Yes.
You've pulled about half of the Kraken up towards you, and it is teeming with undead. And very small down on the other side of the crevice, you see Garbanzo in a tank being led by Bobble, along with Tiresias and a small child, as they go toward what appears to be a hole in the water.
You know, Tuesday
Like-
stuff.
You know.
Just another Monday.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mm-hmm. So, what would you like to do?
Is this Kraken still a danger?
You think between the combined efforts of you and Thalas's army have taken care of this. For without an army and a giant, you don't think you would have been able to.
Okay. Then if I think that Thalassa's undead can finish this thing off, I would very much like to put Axis Mundi on the move to retrieve me
Okay.
and bring me to the edge of the river.
Okay. The lumbering Hulk wanders over, hand outstretched down towards you.
Mm-hmm. I'll kind of hobble onto it.
Mm-hmm. And it raises you and carries you over. Thalassa, you see the Colossus set Mal down next to you.
That was very impressive.
You really thought so?
Oh, yes, it was a giant carnival machine.
Yeah.
You punched things with the carnival.
Yeah. You'll notice that I kept your car as intact as I could.
Yes, I did see the remains of it. Yes. I did not expect much to make it through. I think I have to see this thing as it's being taken down, but I believe everyone else went that direction.
Okay.
Something in the water?
Yeah. Yeah, I saw them all heading down some stairs. Are you gonna be okay by yourself?
Yes, I can meet you that way. I think I need to get a little deeper into the water here, but I may need help getting down the stairs if you can meet me there.
Yeah. Of course.
So yeah, I think as Mal heads towards the stairs, I want to like pull myself kind of more into the deeper water until I can see this thing being taken down. And I think I still have those thoughts in my head of like all of these warriors going to try and defeat this thing, and not being able to ever take it down. And I want to finish it off as I see it, kind of the life leaving it, with one like last charge of my siren song, but I want to use my scream under the water this time.
All right. Roll it.
Seven. I rolled a 5 and a crit show 1.
A good old crit show
Oh
one.
no, dice. Okay, so amplified, because you've got the local sounds that are louder, especially underwater. You see your voice, the shockwave come as it punches that last bit of flesh near the beak. And you see it shatter.
Excellent.
The scream was much louder than you had expected. Do you want to draw unwanted attention? Or would you like to endanger someone you care for?
I think probably unwanted attention.
Cool. Cool. Yeah. So the bits and pieces of it just ripple apart at your call. And the beak does shatter and begins to sink. Would you like to get a trophy? A piece of something that you have defeated, something traditionally kept by the victors of these mer warriors.
Yeah, I mean, what's the point if I don't have something to go on my shelf, right? Or my new shelf once I get it fixed and all the stuff put back up.
And you swim up and you grasp onto one of these shards. It is thick. It is still very warm, but not burning you from the intense heat that was within the Kraken itself. And as you sort of hold it vaguely pulsating in your hand, you see down in the depths some of the keepers that would guard the entrance to the Kraken's home. So, they don't seem to have quite spotted you yet, but they definitely noticed that their charge is splattered.
Yeah, I mean, if they don't recognize me, I'm probably trying to get back to Mal.
All right. And as you swim, your body glistens in the light, its bone structure visible at times. And you make it back up to the top. Mal, you see Thalassa come to the surface holding this shard of not quite bone.
You ready to go?
Yes. The Kraken had guards with it, and they have realized that it is disposed of, so that may be bad for us. I'm not quite sure what will come of that, but please carry me now.
Okay, I'm saying with one arm that is broken and one arm that is completely on fire.
Over the shoulder is fine.
Yeah. And I'm gonna try to sort of crouch down in the water and see if she can kind of swim up onto my shoulder so I can attempt to fireman carry her down these stairs.
It's just like a salmon, like coming up and jumping out of the water.
You have to catch her as she leaps out of the stream with your teeth like a bear.
It takes a couple of tries because I keep smacking her in the face with my tail on accident.
And there the five of you stand at the top of these stairs. Bobble looks at you, Mal, and says, "Who first?"
How about you and I go together?
Okay. The 2 or 3 of us.
Ah,
I bet you could fit her in here next to me. It'll be a little tight, but it'll be all right.
I believe we have all seen how the two of you fit inside of that. And I'm going to drop Thalassa into the tank.
Is your leg all right, my love?
It is not.
I'm sorry if you're in pain, but I mean, to be honest, legs are overrated. You'll be just fine, I'm sure.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
All right.
Let's go.
This is fine. This is fine. And Bobble and Mal take steps into the darkness, lit by Mal's arm. It goes down 30, 40 feet before you hit marble floor. And how is the tank going to make it down?
Oh.
I have a pitch for you that's kind of ridiculous, but kind of awesome.
I mean, that's great, because otherwise we're just going to chill up here and wait.
So before we head down, Tiresias reaches out and touches Mal's shoulder, and there's that pulse of light in her eyes again, and then it's gone, and for just a brief moment you can see like light shining underneath where his mask connects to his nose. And Bobble, I sense we all need to be present, but it is hard for us all to be mobile. I remember you telling me once about magnets repelling one another. And I know that these gloves have very powerful magnets. Could you rig something up to the bottom of this tank so that it would repel off the magnets?
I don't see why not.
Savior's hover chair.
Yeah, so she takes the gloves off of you and jerry rigs something and looks at Mal. It's like, I think you're going to have to push it, otherwise it's not going to have enough power. But yeah, this should work.
Okay.
All right.
I hope this thing takes heat, okay? Because I've got the one arm that's on fire. So
With a slight sound,
I'm gonna.
you were able
push
to
it.
make it down to the bottom.
Yeah.
Good luck, everybody.
Just don't put your hand in the water.
No, I won't do that.
You'll cook me alive. Otherwise, we should be fine.
Perks up.
You hit the bottom, and yeah, it's this large room, marble floors, and runes inscribed in the marble, and the pillar in the middle of it, and on top of it is the Angelus. And Curio, his hands in his pocket, is just staring at it, and it is staring back at him with far too many eyes. As you see The swirling arms of galaxies spiral around it. This inky darkness, teeth flowing around it. One large eye opens up and looks at him and looks at you. And many mouths grin. So here we are. And I think that's a good place to pause. Until next time.
Outstanding.
Excellent.
Fantastic.
All right. Well, Kim, what have we got?
Yeah. So, first of all, where do we think we are on our scales?
Well, I think for the most part, things went well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Nobody that wasn't part of Curio's part of the Big Johnson seems to have died. Don't really know what happened inside of High Brazil.
Nope. Sure don't.
So it's kind of 50-50.
Okay.
So what do you think? And by you, I'm kind of looking at both the players and the chat. Do we want to consider Bobby Johnson's to be its own thing that can be saved or left to destruction? Because it did kind of get destroyed, but the town seems intact. You think?
Yeah, I think you're right, not knowing what happened inside there, but I mean, we at least know what could have happened if this rolled over into the town and we kept it pretty contained.
Mhm.
Kept a kaiju fight and another surprise kaiju out of the town, but we don't really know otherwise.
The characters think we have just executed what we came to do, sort of, mostly.
Yeah, and very specifically, out of all the people who offered us their assistance, we really didn't put anyone in danger that wasn't already dead.
Yeah.
That's true.
I had thought about that, and I was like, we've got like 2 towns worth of people still, but I was like, I should probably use the people who don't have the rest of their lives to live first. And that worked out great for me, honestly.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's say that you saved.
Look at us.
All right.
Look at us. So I believe that puts us on our last vote.
Mm-hmm.
For
What
the
boon are
path
you guys gonna
of
get?
redemption. The options of which being a death is undone with the gift of life, or a monster is given humanity. Make your selections. All right. So, thank you to Nikki P11 for the follow. Thank you to Josh the Lore Merchant for the resub, 14 months. Congratulations. Also, thank you, Amtrak Thomas, you know, the good one, who is resubbing from the void. Happy 12 months. Thank you. Thank you, I'm a T-Rex, for the 2 gift subs and the 500 bits. And thank you, Anna, for the 500 bits. So, looking ahead to the rest of the week, tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern, please join Rev and I for a listen-through of the Crit Show. We're burning through the Hawaii arc, so we're going to do the penultimate episode of the Hawaii arc tomorrow. So please come join us for Eston and Ori and a whole bunch of ghouls, and some good stuff's gonna happen. Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern, Mystery Detectives. Megan and I are back with part 2 of Nancy Drew the Silent Spy. Last time we dressed up in our secret agent finery, and we're trying to get to the bottom of what really happened to Nancy's mom.
Yeah, last week we had the great fortune of having one of the devs show up surprisingly in chat, and we got to hear a bunch of cool behind the scenes information about the creation of that game, and it was really, really cool. So we might talk about some of that stuff if it comes up again this week as well.
Yeah, so cool to be joined by a dev who hung out with us while we streamed last Thursday. Amazing. And then next week, 8 p.m. Eastern, be here for the finale of the Omniverse Chronicles Crossroads Carnival. Will we prevent the apocalypse? I don't know. We're gonna find out. Any other announcements? Revington.
I can't think of any.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right then. That makes my job super easy. Thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you, Joe, as always. And I hope we'll see you all next week for the season finale of Crossroads Carnival. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.